Let's just talk about when you watch the tape. What did you see?
Well, it was basically confirmed what we thought. You know, we played very average in some spots, and against a really good balanced football team, you get what you got. Missed tackles went up, but a lot of that's because of Mississippi State. Missed assignments went up, and that was, you know, that's Auburn. And I didn't think our players played within themselves. Thought they sometimes tried to overplay, you know, run over somebody else's area and make a play instead of playing within the system. And against a team like that, you're going to suffer because they're balanced. And I think the quarterback, very talented young man, but I think his best talent's between his ears. And he makes great decisions. So when you mess up, you seldom get away with it with a good player like that. And then the other thing that we really, you know, keep a close eye on, what we call our accountability, was finishing plays. You know, we did a good job of that. We played hard, tried to play physical, and really toward the end of the game, when the game was not in a situation where you think you got much of a chance to win, just the only chance is making stops and hopefully get it and onside kick it and so forth. You know, played through all that. But you just cannot make the number of mistakes that we made against a team that has that kind of balance with that kind of quarterback.
Ellis, before yesterday, you guys really hadn't allowed very many big plays on any third down, but particularly on third and long. And right out of the gate, they get 3 straight in a row that are all the longest plays you'd allow on third down all season. Were there things that they were doing that you didn't expect, or were there missed assignments or missed tackles? What was going on there?
Well, the biggest thing, I didn't realize that. As a matter of fact, I knew we were having some long plays, didn't realize that first ones occurred on those third downs. What they do, of course, they spread the field, and they've got a guy back there that can throw it, and they've got a guy that can run it. And so there are times where you've got to keep people in the box, and that contributed to some of the longer pass plays because you're out there on an island in coverage. Thought for the most part, our defensive backs did a good job. There's some tough things going on. There's a lot of pushing, shoving going on, and sometimes the calls didn't go our way. But I thought our guys out back competed, and in fact, we're in a good position a few times, but you know, it is what it is. The other thing, we had one really bad one, but I think it was a little later in the game, and we had a call to load the box and had the pressure on the DBs, and we didn't fit it right. And that was the one he took for about 50, I think for about 20 yards on a 3rd and 11. So, you know, those are the ones that you want back. Those are the ones you get frustrated about. If you get beat, you know, with Prescott trying to run the ball up and down 5 men in the box, that's going to happen. But when you load the box and a player gets out of position, and you're putting your DBs in the pressure just to be able to do that, and you don't fit it right, that's the only thing that's frustrating. But to put it on any one thing on those plays, I couldn't. One was a missed assignment. The other one I thought we just got beaten coverage. And the third one, they just executed it really well. And I think we missed a tackle on it was the biggest factor on that one.
And it's the Dax touchdown late in the second quarter. You know, the offense just kind of responded, and he led the charge on the field. What happened on that play? It looks like, and Chris said after the game, he was looking more like a zone read outside, or read out zone outside, and obviously
I think that's the one I'm talking about. It was going, and if you look at the
going to your right,
right to left.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That was it. You know, we were playing we zeroed up the coverage and brought the dime backer and the mic in. The dime backer didn't do it. He missed his fit. The play started to the right. Chris's fit was over the right tackle. He cut back inside, and he couldn't get back to him. And, you know, put another guy with the ball in his hands, he may come back over and catch it. But the dime linebacker was in the wrong place and didn't fit it right. Probably better off left our 2 base linebackers out there and let them play it if that's the call. But that's the thing you get into with the teams that hurry up, don't change personnel. And that was one of the things they do say. They use their same personnel, we call 11 personnel, and they form a lot of their formations. About the only thing they do differently is occasionally they'll put 2 tight ends out there, and you know they're different. But other than that, they've got 1 tight end, 3 wideouts, 1 back, and so you've got to match up and play all those formations. So had the dime personnel on there because of 3rd and 11, and he didn't fit it the right way.
Obviously, with Jonathan Jones, the 2 picks stand out, and then the pass interference there late. But what else did he do in the game, and just what do you think he did overall in that game?
You know, I don't know what his tackles were. I think he played pretty good, and I really thought he was in good position on the call that he got. There was a lot of pushing and shoving by both guys, and I don't know how you just call it on one instead of the other. So, you know, we get them for pre-snap penalties or post-whistle penalties, what we call dumb penalties, you know, judgment things. When they're competing like that, you know, you just try to tell them, hey, you got to do this, you got to turn, you got to get your hand here, you got to look, you got to whatever. You know, we try to fix the fundamental of it. But frankly, they were both pushing, they both had their hands up high, and, you know, we didn't get the call, or rather we got the call against us.
Is that a play you'd like to just send to the SEC and just ask?
We always ask them, and I'm not questioning the officials, but we send them in as part of the whole routine, you know, so that they can evaluate themselves, and a lot of times they can explain to us, here's what the player's gonna have to do if you don't want that called. And the last time we sent it in, it was he's gotta get his head around and make an attempt to find the ball, and he did. But there was contact, but we thought it was contact from both sides. So, you know, I don't know if it was a missed call, I just felt like it was a tough call that went against us.
How difficult is it to defend a guy like Prescott when they keep you from having both your linebackers on the field just by spreading everything out as much as they did?
It's hard. I mean, we all talk about this. It's like, you know, everybody talks about it every day because you got the guys like Cam Newton, we had Johnny Manziel, you know, you got Prescott. That's the philosophy a lot of coaches are looking for. They want a guy back there that's a ball carrier that can throw the ball 40 yards. And anytime you find one that can do that, and Dak's very talented and able to do that. Tebow, you know, last time we played Tebow, I think Dan was his coach. Anytime you've got a player that can do that, it's just tough. You know, there are times where you're going to have to ask your front, try to handle him. We get ready to play 2 deep zone. If it can't handle him, it can't handle him. There are other times where you look at the tendencies and you try to load it up front, take him away. Your DB's under a little pressure. Those players are not as good, and they don't have good people outside to complement them, and they got a good offensive line. But I think State is very balanced. You know, their linemen, some of them are very experienced now. Running back started for 2 or 3 years. I know he started for 2 years. I think he's played for 3 of them. And he's an older, tougher guy. The receivers are doing a good job. They got 2 tall receivers outside that can hurt you deep, high balls. Got good inside receivers that fast and can run the zoom sweeps. And, you know, that's the thing you do, is to surround that guy to try to, you know, get your system right. So they're going to be very difficult to defend for anybody. You know, they're putting up yards and points on everybody. I thought we could have done a lot better job, but we never went into the game thinking we were going to stop them. We went into the game thinking we could make some critical stops, get the ball back to our offense, and, you know, we keep their number of points down below our number of points. That's the objective when you play a good offensive team with that kind of balance.
If you have another game down the road against a quarterback like that, can you use some of that 2-star dime and almost get Garrett on the field as a second linebacker option, or?
No, we moved him inside now. He was playing quite a bit as a second linebacker. Nick Ruffin's backing up Therese now. And really, we like that better. We got more of a coverage approach there where we can get that guy out. Justin can cover a lot of guys outside. And in this particular game, it wasn't that type of game. Texas A&M may be a little bit more like that, more 4 wides on the field. These guys, you know, had a tight end who's what we call an H-back who can play outside and inside. And we had some matchups. He made one great catch, you know, down there near the goal line. And one as good as any of their wide receivers caught, you know. And I think it was Therese who was on him, can't even remember. But he's a really good player. He's versatile. You know, of all the players on their offense, of course, Dak's the one that can do both. But the H-back, he's the one that really gives them the versatility because they can line up with him in the box, out of the box, on the box, and it makes you have to adjust on the fly.
Ellis, you're 6 games in, regular season, 6 more to go. Where is the defense at compared to maybe where you were hoping it would be, your expectations are?
I think we're playing pretty well except for just mental mistakes. We're giving away some plays. I think we're a little bit better football team than we're performing right now. Of course, that's the way a coach always thinks. But the one thing that continues to be an issue right now is we're not getting any pressure on the quarterback with 4 people. It looks like Pascal back there, frankly. And until we started bringing some people and getting in his face, he was making good throws. One of the picks came on a fire zone, and the other pick came on a man pressure, bringing 6 people. And when we didn't rush that many, he never threw us a ball. You know, we got the other pick on the punt safe when the defense was on the field. So that's not You know, that's not affecting him. And we affected some throws later on. We got around him. But there's no question, right now, we're going to have to bring pressure to affect quarterbacks. That's one thing. The other thing, I think we're improving out backs, and we're very young out back. And as they get more and more game experience, this open date's going to help us too. As they get more and more experience, I think we'll be a little more comfortable back there and make plays. Some of these plays we're not making, I think they'll make them.
Got time for one more.
Is there any hope at this point to get Carl Lawson back in November?
I don't know that. They just keep talking about how remarkably well he's done, but I don't know that. I think the hope was that he would be able to play before the end of the season. It's not something right now that's in the very near future that I'm aware of.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Justin moved back to inside linebacker.
Yeah. I got him a week back, Will inside back.
Ellis, when you say they, you mean